Everyone, readers are afraid to back yet classes in session. Today, it's gym class time, and we are looking at how to play the game Gym from Chris Handy and Perplexed, part of their package game line. This is number 10 in whatever series that was. It says pick a team, play to win. This game, you can play by yourself or in a team, basically, if you want it. It's 2, 4, or 6 players. So you're going to play in teams if you're playing with 4 or 6 players. Age of stand up takes about 15 minutes. And what you're doing is trying to select kids to play on sports teams. Basically, it's just like those days when you were in school and a couple of kids would basically be the captains for the team and they would select players for their team to play softball or soccer or what have you. It's the same kind of idea. We see it in movies and stuff all the time. In it, you get kids, a bunch of kids. There is 24 kids, I believe. 24 kids, 18 are friendlies, and 6, such as Kiori, are brats. The brats have a black 0. They all have a sport that they're good at and a second one that they're less good at. And the different sports we have include basically ping pong or table tennis, football, tug of war for some reason, dodgeball. I used to like dodgeball. Did I mention basketball already? There's also the most perplexing one to me, and this is funny because it's from Perplexed. Weightlifting? Why on earth would you have weightlifting over, let's say, soccer or baseball? Weightlifting. Or hockey, for that matter. Weightlifting. I can't get over that. That's a team sport, apparently. So you got all sorts of students here, and you can shuffle them up. You also have the coaches. 6 different coaches, and they have different colors. And on the back side, they represent different sports and different actions that you're going to do if you put a card here. So I'll put those aside for the moment. And so let's look at the setup. Now, if you're doing 2 players, you're going to sit across from each other. If it's a game of 4 or 6 players, you'll choose teams of 2 or 3, and each team should sit on one side. You're going to sit next to each other, basically, as teams. Personally, I think it's better or best as just a 2-player game, but it is what it is. You'll choose a dealer however you want. The dealer will create the event schedule, so we're going to take these cards, line them up here along the side. And then we'll shuffle these 24 kids, reveal 12 of them in a row between both players, and then we'll take turns drafting these kids, basically, or picking them, if you will. The dealer will start, and then you just alternate. If you are in teams, you will alternate back and forth, so team A, B, A, B, A, B, as an example. And then we're going to have 2 phases in the game. There's the pick phase and the play phase. And the pick phase is where you're picking all the kids. And then the play phase is where you will play them. So, we're going to put out 12 of these kids in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like so, 12 kids. And then we're going to leave the other 12 for after. And then you'll start by drafting cards. So maybe I draft... Let's draft Jen. I like dodgeball, so why not? And then maybe they draft Sylvia, and then maybe I draft Theo, and then maybe they draft Zeri, and then maybe I draft a brat, Kiori. When you draft a brat, you get to change one of these. You'll see there's black lines. There's got 3 sections basically, and you will adjust those. So I'm gonna push this forward, and the thing is, I can push one forward twice, or I can push two forward once. So let's push that one forward, and let's push basketball forward. Otherwise, I could push one forward twice, but we'll just do two different ones. I had one. After selecting all the kids, whichever four are furthest ahead will be the events that we will be competing in. So you can adjust one event 2 spaces or 2 events 1 space is the way that works. So then they're going to draft a card, and I'm going to draft one, and then they're going to draft one, I draft one, then maybe they draft a brat, and they say, you know what, I want table tennis to go up twice. So they do that. Then I will draft one, and then they draft one. Then the other 12 kids are going to come out. And so then I would draft one. Maybe I draft Enrique and push, let's say, football up ahead one, and dodgeball up ahead one. Then they draft a dodgeball one. I'll draft one. They draft Steven, and maybe they say, you know what, let's move weightlifting ahead one, and let's move basketball ahead one. Then I'm going to go ahead and draft, let's say, Brian. They draft, let's say, this one. I will draft, maybe I draft Dion, and I move ahead dodgeball again, and table tennis. They draft one, I'll draft one. Then they draft Cyril, and maybe they move basketball ahead and football. As an example, then I draft this one, and they draft this one. So, once all the drafting is done and we have our kids, we are ready to compete. So let's just see what we're going to do next year. Sorry. You're going to take whichever events are furthest ahead. That's going to be basketball, dodgeball, football, and ping pong. And we're going to put them here between both players, like so. These two are going to become our coaches. We have Perry and Harris. And we can put them on either side, I guess. Technically, we're going to put them both on one side. Put them over there. And then we're going to begin in competing in the play phase, right? This is the play phase now. So, what you're going to do is whoever's the active player is going to place a kid to one of the 3 open positions on that sport. Then he may perform an event action, and then if he chosen a kid that was a brat, he may also move either coach. The coaches are going to be there to keep the kids in line, and they also prevents that from being attacked, that sport, that event. So let's say I start, and I will play Jen to the dodgeball. This one has pick a kid, give one back. That means I would get to choose a kid from their side, and then I would give one back. This is move any kid on the same side, so I could, if I want, move Jen over here. This one, force a kid. Opponent's next turn. So if I wanted to, if I put a card here, I could then say, okay, next I want you to play this brat, and force them to play that card. And then this one is switch 2 kids on the same side. So again, it's switching kids. I need to verify that one. And you can actually switch kids on your team or your opponent's team as well with that one. So this is move a kid to any other position. This is actually switching two kids. It's the same idea. These two also have, of course, stuff on the back if you use them. This is swap any two kids from one team to the other. And this is lift any kid and replace it. So if I don't like a kid that is somewhere, I like that it's weightlifting, it's lifting. You can take a kid on either team's side and add it to your hand and then replace it with a kid from your hand. So if I have one that I don't like, I can replace it. Or if my opponent has one that's really good that I don't like, I can take it and put a different one on it. But obviously we're not using those. So I've gone. My opponent is now going to go. So maybe they put Bradley over here. He could switch two kids. He's not going to do that. So then I'm going to go and I'm going to put Alex over here. I'm not going to do any actions. They're going to go. They could put, maybe they put Zari over here. She's pretty good at basketball. And they could pick a kid and give one back. They're not going to do that. We're just going to avoid most of the effects for the moment. And maybe I'll put this one here. They're going to go. They play this one here. I will put this one here, I think. I don't have too many that's good for that sport, unfortunately. Now, since this is a brat, it's a little bit different. With a brat, you can place, after performing your action, if you do the event action, you could place, if you do the action, a coach, one of the coaches, to the right of that position, and it reduces the chaos on that side of the event, and no event actions may be used to move kids to or away from that side of the event. So I could do an action here, switch two kids on the same side. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But if I did, the coach would come in, keep them all in line, and no events would take place there. No actions. So then they're going to go. They put this guy here. They could do an action and, move the coach into place. But we're not going to do that. Just go back and forth, and I want to move on to scoring. So I'm going to put this guy here. They put this one here. I will put this one here. They'll put this one here. Then I will play one. Then they will play another. And then, maybe I'll play this one here as well, because we have no weightlifting. They will put this one here. I will put this one on the basketball team. They'll put this one here, I guess. I'll put this one here. I'll put this one in the football. I will put this one here. Unfortunately, I'm going to concede that sport. They'll put this one in basketball. I'll put this one here, and then they'll put this one here. So then we have everything set up, and we're going to see who wins every event. It's pretty straightforward. We're just going to see how many points each team gets, and whoever has the most points wins the game. And your points are going to be determined by, what each player has here for a score. So we got for basketball 2, 4, and 3. That's 9. 10, 11, 12, 14, 18, 25, 29 points is what we got, if I counted correctly. What did they have? They have 4, 8, 15, 23. It was close, but we win. Yeah. Anyways, that's how you play the game. It's a neat little game. And that is that. That is Jim. Comment, like, subscribe, and what you think. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.